The American president has approved the surveillance of Islamic State targets on territories the group has occupied in Syria, a precursor for potential airstrikes. However, the move comes amid mounting speculation that Washington may now actually have to work with Bashar al-Assad if indeed it wants to eliminate the jihadist threat. More on this with RT's Gayane Chichakan.
There is no love lost between the West and the Syrian president. But while they're enemies today, they could need each other tomorrow. Top former military and counterterrorism officials say the U.S. should be prepared to start working with the government of Bashar Assad in order to fight the Islamic State.
George, we're going to have to make a choice. If we want to eliminate this ISIS, we're going to have to deal with people we don't like.
In a similar vein, the former head of the British Army was quoted as saying,
"The old saying, 'my enemy's enemy is my friend,' is going to have some resonance with our relationship with Assad."
But those are former officials speaking. The current ones reject the prospect of cooperation with the Syrian government.
The regime there, the Assad regime, by their actions, has allowed this group to flourish.
The claim has raised many eyebrows, given that the Islamic State is hell-bent on destroying the Assad government and has gained momentum in the Syrian civil war. Despite its differences with the West, Damascus now says it's ready to cooperate when it comes to fighting terrorism, but that any efforts must be coordinated with the Assad government. Well, after years of trying to topple Bashar Assad.
And it's time for Assad to get out of the way.
We both agree that Assad needs to go.
It may not be easy for the U.S. to be seen cooperating with him. But while the West deliberates over going after the jihadists of the Islamic State in Syria, the issue becomes even more pressing.
Well, we're going to have to say something to the Syrian government if we're going to start bombing in Syria.
And the West may have already started helping Assad secretly. A source told The Independent that Western intelligence agencies have provided the Syrian government with details of the location of Islamic State leaders for targeted airstrikes. The source claims the information was passed to Assad forces by the German intelligence service, which acted as an intermediary.
Even if there's a temporary act of convenience, some sharing of intelligence, which is unproven, I believe the United States is still looking primarily to overthrow the Assad government.
Imagine the President of the United States coming out and saying, "I know I said Assad is enemy number one and all that, but today, well, we may have to work together." That may not be an easy thing to swallow for the presidential ego, but a deal and cooperation could save many lives. In Washington, I'm Gayane Chichakan, RT.